All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. Welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Yet another loss. We have apparently the most losses as a football club in 2023. Something around 19 or so many losses, whatever the case is. We've got another record. We need to really talk about what is the biggest issue here. We need to come out and speak the truth. We need to be honest. I don't even find it worthwhile to talk about the match. We will talk about the match, of course, but talking about a particular match in isolation is not worth it. It's not worth it. Because the bigger issue, in my opinion, is our owners, and it's clear as daylight. The biggest culprit in this entire fiasco are the owners. If they seriously cared about the football club, they need to start making some changes immediately. Changes in their philosophy, changes in the personnel that are running the show, changes in their recruitment policy, changes in many different areas. Because the way it's been run so far, it's shambolic. We are well and truly, like as if previous losses didn't make that quite evident and quite clear. Now we are well and truly 2 seasons into the new ownership, and we've not seen anything above 10th as yet. So when the new owners come in and they make a plan that this is the plan that we're going to go with, this is the plan that's going to take us to the top, this is the plan that will make us successful, for 2 seasons in a row, that's not been the case. So you have to come to a decision and sit down, the board, and you have to reassess again. You have to reassess. This constant fetish over buying youth. Look, it's not a secret anymore. It's clear to see that the owners, their plan was buy these young players, make a lot of profit out of it. It's not really about winning. I think we've all clocked that now. If it was about winning, then this team and the manager and the sporting directors, it will all be different. It would all be elite level. It would all be different. So I think we've clocked it. We've definitely clocked that they're not really here for winning. That don't mean that's just a byproduct. If it happens, it happens. This season, it's been so shambolic. How we've not made a change already. We're just allowing this season to just carry out again. They said, oh, once Nkunku comes back, it's all going to change. Well, Nkunku's back now. Nkunku's back now. And it's still the same. Every game there are a plethora of players that are making mistake. Not one player. There's multiple players that are making mistake on a consistent basis. That tells me the entire organization is faulty. You can't sit here and blame one player. This is what I mean. Like, we can come here and just talk about the Wolves game, but that is not the problem. The problem is far bigger than just the Wolves game. There's no point in, and we will absolutely annihilate Sterling on this particular reaction. We will absolutely annihilate Jackson in this particular reaction. We will absolutely annihilate Buddy Shield, Desasi, Thiago Silva, Ogochukwu. We will annihilate every single one of them. But that's not going to solve anything, because when you have this many players having so many issues and so many mistakes, and let's not forget, our manager is not helping either, of course. Managers, team selection, utilizing certain players in different areas of the field. It doesn't help. So it starts from the top. Owners are only concerned about the next 16-year-old, 17-year-old, like the player that we were apparently interested with recently from Argentina, some 17-year-old, Echeverria or whoever his name is, apparently going to Man City. That's what the owners are interested about. The owners are not interested about what's happening on a weekly basis in terms of result. They're happy. They're quite happy to be 10th. They are, because if they're not happy, then changes would have been made already. They're quite happy to be in this position. For them, get the next big player, flip them for profit, and we move on. If we can show in the accounting books that we're in the positive, then they've got a healthy balance sheet, they've got a healthy organization, which then, down the track, sell it off for a lot of money. So unless and until they change their mind, there's only two possible solutions here. One, you change your philosophy. You screw all of this pure profit, you're buying youth, finding a whole heap of revenue streams, all about, marketability, all about the business, amortization. You forget all of that. You screw all of that. And you start thinking about winning, right? And how do you win? You've got to put elite people in the right places. Elite manager. Look, people are still saying, oh, it's not Poch's fault. It's not, but let me make it very clear. This guy's not an elite manager. He's done nothing in his career, man. He's done nothing in his career. All he's done is, he elevated Southampton to a different level. He elevated Espanyol to a different level. He's elevated Spurs to a different level. No. He's not really gone out there and won stuff. He's not really, put an imprint on the footballing world by winning major trophies left, right. He's not a ruthless, not a serial winner. He's now coming out post-match talking about how this is a different Chelsea. This guy is really moving like a fraud now. Everything that he said in the beginning of the season, win today, win tomorrow, win yesterday. We're Chelsea Football Club. We're all about winning. We should be competing for the title. Now it's about, he consistently talks about process. He consistently talks about progress. He consistently says how we are mid-table. He wants us to believe and accept and embrace and appreciate the fact that we're mid-table. This is the manager. So owners, two solutions. One, Forget about all of these pure profit and all of this amortization and all of that BS business stuff. You start putting elite people in the elite positions, elite manager, elite sporting directors, and the plan is to win immediately. You stop your youth project. We've bought enough 16-year-olds to the point where we don't even know what their future is anymore. And those players are getting injured as well, like Uguchuku. Forget about the youth. Forget it. Just absolutely forget it for a second. Change your recruitment policy. Time to take accountability and start putting elite people in elite areas and build a squad. This 1 billion, do you know how mad it is, ladies and gentlemen? The 1 billion we spent. We didn't even need to spend 1 billion. We could have spent half of that and we could have had a very much an elite team who would have been ready to compete right now. We don't compete, man. Again, against Wolves. 45 minutes of good football. The first 45 minutes. We deserve to be up. We actually played good in the first 45 minutes. But in the second 45 minutes, it all went down the drain. It all went down the drain. So solution one is you either do that. Put elite people in elite places and change your philosophy altogether because it's not been working for 2 years. Or number two, if you want to continue with this BS policy of your youth program and you only want to recruit young players and you want to have yes people, because that's the thing right now, you've got yes people. You don't have anyone in the organization that's got the balls to speak up, because that's how you've selected the whole, that's how you've selected everyone in this club. You don't want anyone to speak against you. You've got a plan and you've hired people that's just going to abide by the rules and regulation. You don't want anyone to rock the boat, because if they rock the boat, you're getting fired. Much like Christopher Vivell. I think Christopher Vivell, that's exactly what happened. So, solution number two, if you do want to continue with this yes man policy all throughout from top to bottom, then get the best yes man out there. Get the best yes man out there. Get the guy who will not rock the boat, and get the best yes men out there. JC, sorry, man, this isn't the members call-in. I'm just doing a live show on my own solo. We'll have plenty of other members call in, so you can join in some other time. Right now, I'm doing a solo, man. Get the best yes man out there, because Maurizio Pochettino is not the best yes man. A lot of people talk about Sarri. Sarri is someone, just give him the team. He's not interested about who you bring in. Just give him a team. He just wants to manage. He just wants to develop them. He wants to instill a certain style of football. What has Pochettino done since he's come to Chelsea Football Club? Let's seriously talk about this. What has Pochettino done since he's come to this Chelsea Football Club? Has he been able to instill a style of football? Has he really developed many players? The only players that I can think about he's developed is Gallagher. And that's pretty much it. Gallagher. What's Pochettino done in terms of man management? In-game management. The way Pochettino plays is a coward style of football as well. We don't play with that attacking flair. We play with 3 CBs. We don't want to play with too many, if only one fullback can bomb forward, the other one's got to stay reserved. We don't seem to have lovely patterns of play on a regular basis. We don't really control anything in the middle. If you look at it let's look at it from the back, right? Petrovic, to be honest, he's actually been okay. Petrovic kept us in that game. He's made some good saves. But goalkeeping is also a bit of an issue because, long term, what we're going to do, I don't know. But you look at the defense. Look at the amount of goals we have been conceding under Pochettino. Has he been able to strengthen the defense? Has he been able to instill a structure that ensures that we're difficult to beat? No, he hasn't. Under Pochettino, much like all the other previous managers, the individual errors continue. And when you have individual errors on a regular basis from different players, every player, Desasi, Badiashil, Silva, Liva Kobo, all of these players have made individual errors on a regular basis, multiple times in a game, in one game. So, as a manager, what have you done? Have you been able to instill a defensive structure? We are clueless when it's set pieces. Look at what happened today. Ugochukwu. Ugochukwu's got no idea. Header comes in, he's not even marking the guy. Free header for the Wolves guy. But we've seen that many times this season. It's not even about Ugochukwu. We've seen that many times this year. So you've not been able to instill a defensive structure. Midfield. Do we control games? Whether it's three-man midfield, whether it's a double pivot. Today we even saw a single pivot. We even saw a lone DM, Gallagher. He was bombing forward as well. And then there was absolutely nothing in midfield. At times, Cole Palmer was dropping in and Nkunku was dropping in and becoming a defensive midfielder. But I get it. Today we didn't have enough options in midfield. I understand that. But in previous games as well, when we played with Caicedo, when we played with Enzo Fernandez, when we played with Gallagher, have we ever controlled a midfield? We might have controlled it in phases. 10 minutes here, 5 minutes there, 15 minutes here. That's about it. We're not really dominated and controlled a game. So there's no defensive structure. We don't control games in the midfield. And up front, do I even need to say anything? How can you continue with mediocrity up front? Where's the consequence? Raheem Sterling, on a regular basis, makes phenomenal mistakes. Do you know what? You know what the crazy part is? Raheem Sterling, besides that big mistake, the second half, Raheem Sterling was stupid, to be honest. Since he made the mistake, he was absolute disaster class. But before the mistake, Raheem Sterling was actually someone who was doing well. He created a lot of opportunities. But Raheem Sterling, what he did, this isn't the first time Raheem Sterling has done this. This is the second time he's done this. We all know what he did against Bournemouth. We all know what he did here. So what's the consequence? What's the consequence of consistently delivering poor performances? And on top of that, the plethora of dives. Oh my God. This is a player that I like so much. But I have to be honest with you all. The level of diving on a regular basis. Now he's suspended for the next. And that's the other thing. The amount of yellow cards under Pochettino. Are you mad? Players are willy-nilly picking up yellow cards. There is zero discipline under Pochettino. Zero discipline. Nicholas Jackson apparently has more yellow cards than goals. I don't know if that's true. Or he has more yellow cards than any other players in the Premier League. Nicholas Jackson apparently has picked up 8 yellow cards so far this season. 8. And most of them are for dissent. So they're not even learning. So many players just willy-nilly picking up yellow cards, man. How can Pochettino... I can't believe how Pochettino has not been able to control that. As a manager, what control you're not showing any control of any department. People say, "Oh, but what's Poch meant to do with some of these?" What's the point of having a manager then? You might as well have a team without a manager. Pochettino is 100% culpable in this whole fiasco as well. 100%. He's not the biggest factor. As I've said, the biggest culprit are the owners. The biggest culprit are the owners. They hold the biggest weight. But after that, Poch has the responsibility to get a grip of this group of players. And if you can't do that, as I said, defensively, our structure is awful. The amount of goals we concede. Midfield, awful. Up front, awful. The amount of yellows we pick up, disgusting, disgraceful. Him coming up post-match talking so much rubbish on a regular basis, disgraceful. Nicholas Jackson. Nicholas Jackson is a particular player I was backing. You know what? I absolutely dislike him now. I absolutely dislike him. All the stuff that he does outside of the field is annoying. Who knows? He's probably on the phone to Astrid Wet right now. People want to put shameless tweets. Oh, why does Nicholas Jackson get so much heat? He scored the goals. I'll tell you why he gets so much heat. The guy, his entire package as a footballer is non-existent. He does certain things good, and then he screws it up by doing certain things absolutely woefully. His first touch is awful. His decision making is awful. He can't even get a shot every time we're in the box, and that's the other issue. And this comes, it shows that there is a big issue at the football club in terms of confidence. How many times we get into the box and we don't take it first time? Cross comes in or a ball gets laid straight into the path for a shot. We don't take it first time. We want to take a touch because we have no confidence. I don't care what all of these players say after the match, Instagram, we keep fighting again, we are sorry, we go again, we deserve better, this, that, the other. None of these players are confident. It's clear to see these players are confused by the instructions that's been given to them. 2, they probably don't buy into what Pochettino's wanting them to do. There's a clear issue. You see other clubs, first time hit, pow, goal. No one wants to hit anything first time at our football club. Jackson, as I said, woeful first touch. Woeful decision making. Woeful finishing. Brother can't header. Brother can't hold up. He can't link up. He dribbles headlessly. I wanted to give Jackson and Broja an opportunity to show us that we don't need to buy a striker. Both Jackson and Broja have emphatically showed us how bad we need a striker. Like, they have so incredibly failed as a duo. Both of them, they didn't want to take the opportunity. Honestly, none of these brothers can say that they never got an opportunity. You got an opportunity. Armando Broja got an opportunity as well. But both of them, Jackson definitely has been getting the opportunity. Armando Broja has been getting the opportunity as well. Armando Broja is no good either. It's clear to see the injuries affected him. The confidence is not there. Both of them emphatically has shown to Chelsea Football Club and the fan base that a striker is undoubtedly needed. Now the question is, who are we going to get as a striker? And the one name that's getting thrown around for the January is the Sporting Lisbon brother for 100 million. So even when we figure out an issue that we need a striker, but we don't have the right people running the show to make the right decision to bring in a proper striker, they're going to bring in the next talent and the next project. There's no way Osimhen is coming. There's no way Osimhen is coming. There's no way. I'll be very surprised. I'm willing to be surprised. I don't think he's coming. He's just signed a new contract as well. I know that means nothing. Things can be broken, but 130 million release clause here. Chelsea, amortization being capped, wages. What kind of wages are we going to play? You best believe Osimhen is probably on a really good wage now at Napoli. So he ain't coming to Chelsea Football Club to earn mid-level wages. We've got a restriction on wages as well. He ain't coming. He ain't coming. Ivan Toney is looking to go to Arsenal Football Club. Rightly so. Rightly so. Why not? They're more, exciting to go to right now. So they're looking at 100 million release clause for not Victor Osimhen, Gyökeres, or however you want to pronounce his name. Another player that has the potential. He's only played 13 top level matches. Prior to that, it was all in the second division. So even when you identify an issue and you want to resolve it, we don't have the right competent people to make the decision. So we're in this circle of mediocrity. We're in this circle of disaster. Everything about the football club, owners, board, manager, everything. Tell me who's elite. Tell me who's elite at our football club. Who is elite at our football club? Which component of our football club is elite? None. Zero. How can we expect elite level of performances, elite level of success, results? There is no elite people in the football club. Aaron Q, thank you so much for this super chat. Only Sterling has confidence and selfishness to shoot first time, but usually at times when he should pass, it's tragic. No, it's absolutely tragic. It's absolutely tragic. DOF, I wonder what they do training all week. More than you can believe, it's below par. All players can be this terrible. If training is done well, there's no system pattern. What is Poch really want? Do you know what? I'll tell you. This is a very good statement. What do they do in training? I'm pretty certain the training is mediocre as well. You got players that are playing in a mediocre level. You got a manager that is mediocre manager. He's not an elite manager. Back in the days when we had, JT, Lambs, Didier Drogba, Cech, Ashley Cole, training sessions were harder than the match. So by the time they got to the match, it was just a walk in the park. Now the training sessions are ridiculously poor, probably, because you can see it in the match, right? They're ridiculously poor. So by the time they come to the match, they're clueless because the match is different level. Other teams are playing at a different level. How many of us, when we saw this fixture against Wolves, just knew that it could potentially be a loss here because we're just not good enough? How many of us felt like that? Majority felt like that. That's when you know there's a massive issue. There's a massive issue. None of this will change. None of this will change, ladies and gentlemen. None of this will change until the owners actually make a big change. A big change needs to happen. As I said, they need to stop this youth BS. They need to stop with all of these mediocre people running the club. If you really are about winning, then you start hiring the elite people. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. And if you don't want to do that, then it's clear. Then it's clear that you're just here to, run the club like your Brightons, your Dortmunds, and, just be the selling. It's all about selling players. It's all about selling players and making sure their accounting books are somewhat looking good. It's just about the profit. Top Dog RLG, thank you so much for the super chat. I have zero faith in any department of this club. Otherwise, owners, directors, manager, and players are all average. At what point does the supposedly smart Bowley realize this strategy needs adjusting? Do you know what? You know how we're always talking about Todd Bowley, right? You know how we're always talking about Todd Bowley? He's only the face. The biggest people, and this is what's going to happen. The fans The fans will need to start demanding now, because or else this will continue this manner. Fans on social media, fans that go to the matches, soon we will need to raise our voice even more. Only the fans can change this. The more the fans show that they're irate, they're disgruntled about this whole situation, that we need to drive this ship in a better direction. That's the only way it's going to change. The fans are the only way this club is going to get back into the right direction again. As I said, in social media, we need to be expressing our feelings and tagging not just Top Bolly. Top Bolly is just the face. You need to be tagging Clear Lake. You need to be tagging that Feliciano, whatever his name is, man. Feliciano Lopez, the tennis player. You need to be tagging that 87-year-old, whatever his name is, Hans-Jörg Wyss. And it was clear in recent times from that Hans-Jörg Wyss guy, Wussy, he's not interested about winning, man. He's not interested about winning. Haj, we will get another positional coach and people will still complain about having no pattern or go and get deserve if people are obsessed with it. Another positional play coach will train us the same way. JC Shindol is saying Bolly is making his consortium money. Don't get it twisted. He's being smart for his pocket. Absolutely. 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 JC Shindol, thanks so much for the super chat. Bolly is making his consortium money, period. Yeah. 100%. 100%. Bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, it's if we want to see a change, we as a fan base need to make sure these owners are hearing what we have to say. These owners, they're there. Like Todd Bowley's in Twitter. Like 100% Todd Bowley's in Twitter. Clear Lake Capital, they're in Twitter. Fans that go to Stamford Bridge. If fans start booing, if fans start not going to the stadiums, if fans start creating a lot of chaos outside of the stadium, inside the stadium, they will have to change their way. They will have to change their way. And what happened to? Do you guys remember when the new owners came in? They said that, we will have representations from the fans, in the board, who can give their opinion. What happened to that? What happened to that? I thought the new owners will allow the fans to say their piece. What happened to that? We've got 2 more games before this year ends. We've got a game against Palace. We've got a game against Luton. Luton have been so good. I'm not even sure if we can beat Luton, to be honest. Luton in recent times have been incredible at home, and we've got a match against them away from home. Crystal Palace, I'm not sure how we're going to play against them. But the bottom line is we're going to be 10th or below. We're not going higher. I don't think we're going to get 2 victories. We're either going to stay 10th or we're going to go below, because right now we're amongst Bournemouth, we're amongst Fulham, we're amongst Wolves. This is where we belong. In fact, we probably belong even less than them. Wolves are probably a lot better organized team than us. Wolves, they know what they're doing. Look at Gary O'Neill, man. After 13 minutes or 14 minutes when that Wolves player was down, he got like 5 or 6 players in, started giving mad instructions. He probably saw that he's not liking how Wolves started that game. He saw that Chelsea were just slightly ahead. And he wasn't liking it. He made changes. He started giving instructions. I never see Poch giving any instructions. I never ever see Poch giving any sort of instructions. Players are just doing whatever they want to do. And then at halftime, I never see this brother make any sort of changes to change anything, change the momentum of the game. We saw before the half ended that Wolves finished the match strong. Wolves in the last 10 minutes of that match were coming back. Yet no changes at halftime, and then halftime starts, and it was a diabolical second half. Diabolical second half. Wolves started to put immense pressure, which leads to individual mistakes. So what was said at halftime? Lads, continue the way you're doing. You're doing well. You're doing well. Continue what you're doing. Just go out there and do it again. Is that what's been said? We don't have a manager that can change the course of a match, that can motivate the players to change the course of a match, that can make few substitutions proactively and change the course of a match. Every time we go behind, that's when we make the changes, and that's when we all react. People are so excited about Nkunku. I'm excited about Nkunku. Scored a goal as well. I'm very excited. People are like, oh, it's so clear to see Nkunku's levels ahead of any of his peers. Yes, of course. But I'm not going to be surprised if Nkunku drops his level to become our level. We've seen so many players do that. They come in, they look excellent, and then very, very soon they become part of our mediocre level as well. They get down to our level. Why? CFC Daniels, thank you so much for the super chat. We got other side of minerals landed. Yeah. You can't get excited about anything at our football club anymore. People get happy as soon as we get a win. And we get a win after like 5-6 matches, and we get happy. We think, oh, we're back. And then straight away, we follow that up with a loss. We were almost knocked out by Newcastle if it wasn't for a gift from Kieran Trippier right at the end. We were almost out from that too. As I said, ladies and gentlemen, nothing's going to change until these owners actually change their philosophy. Nothing's going to change. Or, as I said, unless the fans start really voicing their opinion, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. We're going to wrap things up. DOF, Poch never gives instructions because he's not tactician. All he does is change personnel, which shouldn't be a problem if you have a system. Poch and Potter have proven that they play just 45 minutes. Yeah. Sometimes we don't even play 45 minutes. Sometimes we only play 25 minutes. Sometimes we only play 25 minutes. All right, people. Take care. Be safe. Be healthy. I'm sure we'll be here in this same position again after the Crystal Palace game, after the Luton game. Nothing will change. We'll continue. But hey, look out for the next 16, 17, 15-year-old that we're going to purchase over the next few days, because that will be exciting. That will be exciting. Until next time, everyone. Take care. See ya.